Well, it's that time again. Outer Points Productions is about to go live with another Knockout Challenge match. Join me, Little Cheddar, and my guest live at the Varsity Club in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, as we will be delivering some of the best mediocre commentary in the business. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the match, and don't forget to jump in the chat and say hello. Please take the time to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that like button, and share it with all your friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you right after this word from our fabulous sponsors.
Good Sunday afternoon, everybody. This is Dale Little Cheddar Lorenz, and I am here at the Varsity Club in Oshkosh, Wisconsin for yet another fabulous Knockout Challenge match. We've got Dereck Delancy and Jason Harlan in the house today, and this is going to be a fun one. Dereck came into the KO Challenge. He's played a couple of times already with Scotch doubles in one of the other single events, and he's potentially, I should say, one of the favorites. Went for one of the highest opening bids in the player auction, so I think this is going to be a fabulous match. Looking forward to it, as well the players are. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Much appreciated on this gorgeous Sunday afternoon in Wisconsin. Supposed to get up to like 55 degrees today, so can't beat that. But what a great day for pool, right? So we'll get over to the table. I'm gonna step out of the booth for just a second, and we're gonna get the players to lag, and then we'll be back and do a little more chatting.
Looks like 8-ball will be the game for today.
All right, looks like we are playing some 8-ball today, folks. So that's going to be a race to 11. Well, if you're new to the channel, thank you for being here. Much appreciated. If you're new to the KO Challenge, we started out with 64 players. This is a 525 Fargo and under. And we are down to our final Actually, 6. We've got 2 more quarterfinal matches yet, and then we've got, obviously, semifinals and finals. So one of these gentlemen is going to walk away with $575 no matter what, and the winner is booking himself a seat in the semifinals, which is guaranteed $1,500 in the, you know what, as long as I'll just put it up there right away. All right. Jason got that shot out of the way, so winner is guaranteed $1,500 plus $940 for the player auction. So, with that being said, again, we started out with 64 players. It is a single elimination tournament, so you get 1 bullet, but it's a long race. We started out with 8, 9, 10. Man, I can't even 10, 11, 12, whatever it was. And now we're up in the race 1 game each round after being in the quarterfinals. And I know a lot of veterans of the chat already know that this is not your typical pool tournament. As you can tell right from the beginning, no player has the ability to come in and know that they're going to be playing their favorite game. It is complete random, whatever the spin of the wheel or the wheel of destiny, as the players have called it themselves. And the other caveat to, or difference, sorry, left tongue isn't working, than any other tournament is each round there's a redraw. So you can't look ahead in the bracket to find out who you're going to play next. So as soon as the last match is completed in each round, I do a live redraw. Then the players have 2 weeks to schedule and play their match. So one of the reasons I tell you all this is, A, to get you very acclimated as to how the KO Challenge works. And as of this tournament, it's going to be the last time this format is used. That might scare a couple of people in the chat. It's changing up. Next week, Sunday, is the release of the $4.99 and under KO Challenge. It's 1.4. 128 player bracket, and there's not going to be a wheel anymore. And there's also not going to be, there will be a redraw, but it's not going to be just 1 game that's played. So, exciting stuff coming. All right, we're going for a jump 3-ball combo. Jumping over the 15 to play the 3-14-2 combo. Let me get my instant replay ready. This will be one hell of a shot if this goes in. Got it over. All right. First time we're going to see Dereck Delancy at the table. Good afternoon, Fred Renner. What's going on, Salsa Man? Trevor Simpson. Just got off the phone with him for a little while ago. Dave Stafford, how are you, my friend? Pete Best, thanks for liking the share. Tuning in from Wapaka, Wisconsin, Mr. Kyle Vertel. Tom Menina, thank you for your help the other day. Actually, the last couple of matches. The match with your dad, Joe Menina. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunate for his opponent, Jim Sorensen, but unfortunate for Joe's tournament run has come to an end. So I'll give everybody an idea. It's not on any of the flyers or anything yet, but I've gotten feedback from several players, and I trust one of them being a good friend, Mr. Trevor Simpson, who you see in the chat there. Uses the 2-ball as a little helper. So the new format is the wheel is going to be gone. Here's the fun part. It's not going to be just 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball anymore in any of the KO matches. It's going to be 8-ball, 9-ball, and 10-ball. So with the current one, or the one that I'll be running shortly, the $4.99 and under, is going to be a race to there's 3 sets. Set 1 is going to be 8-ball race to 4. Set number 2 is going to be 9-ball race to 5. If a third set is needed, so one player wins one of the sets. Obviously, if one player wins the first 2 sets, the match is over. If there is a winner in each one of the first 2, they split the first 2 sets, we're going to go to a 10-ball match, 10-ball set, race to 4 as well, same as 8-ball. If it gets to hill, 3-3 in the 10-ball, we're going to go to a shootout. Spot shot, it's just like the Predator series, only it's not going to be just 9-ball or 10-ball or 8-ball. So incorporating all 3 games. And as much as I would like to take all the credit for it, I cannot. Tim Stockinger came up. He called me the other day, and he's like, Dale, I think you should give this a try. And after he got done explaining it to me, other than a couple of tweaks, I think it's just a brilliant idea. And I'm really looking forward to getting that going in that format. A couple of people have been asking, why change it if it's working? Well, it has been working, but it hasn't. And the reason I say that is there's too many matches where they've run too long. We've had a couple of matches that have lasted over 5 hours. And from a streaming standpoint and from a viewer standpoint, it's really hard to maintain a stable amount of viewers or a consistent amount of viewers. So, and the excitement level. So, all right, game number 1 goes to Dereck Delancy. What's going on, Robert Harlan? Are you dad, brother, cousin? Tom Manina says he would hate it, but the tiebreaker would be Banks. That's not going to happen. Sorry. Nobody really practices banks, I don't think, or plays a lot of bank pool anymore. Okay, dry break. Not the most open rack. Steve Kilberg, great question. Actually, talking with Trevor, that is going to be the best part, or one of the best parts is people don't put enough emphasis on the leg, and the reason why, if you look at it, and of course we're not professionals, but you look at it from a professional standpoint, if you lose the leg, it could potentially cost you the entire match, literally. If you're at above 650 level or somewhere around there, typically not making a lot of mistakes. So I've decided to make it where if you win the leg, you're breaking in the first 2 sets. So even if you lose the first set, you still get to break in the second set. So whoever wins the leg is breaking the first 2 sets no matter what. The reason being is, and this is kind of my thought process or my mentality, is if it ends up being where you win the leg and then you already know that, okay, if I lose the leg on the first set and we alternate, then I'll still get the break on the second set. Nope. Because then again, it takes the importance out of concentrating on that first leg. Well, first of all, Robert, proud dad. We're going to be doing a player spotlight. It's pre-recorded before each match today, and it was a lot of fun getting to know Jason a little bit better. I really got to know him more as the Knockout Challenge has progressed. But it was fun 10 minutes doing his spotlight. So, and that's 100% correct, Trevor Simpson, unless your name is John Fields. Or Kendall. Kendall's one of the best bankers around, too. And a couple of others that... My biggest fear used to be Ziggy, Terry Zagar. And then, because he's definitely one of the best in the state. All right, that is not what Dereck was looking for a safety. Got to weigh a little bit. So anyway, getting back to Mr. Robert Harlan, I can understand why you're a proud dad. Well, the 4 grandbabies, Jason's got 4 kids. You're going to hear all about it a little bit later. And he mentioned beautiful wife. Good job. Tom and Nina, I am definitely going to take that under advisement. So you rather break set 1 and 3 because set 3 is so important at that time, or even set 2. We got to remember, if you win the leg, you break first all the time. It's not just the first set or the second set or third set. That's why the leg is so utterly important. It's not going to be alternating. The leg of destiny. I like it. Yeah, Trevor just said the same thing. Yeah, same winner. Winner of the leg is going to break first in every set. That places a very high priority on that leg. Well, I don't know if Dereck can see enough of this 12 ball. I'm pretty sure he can. Uh-oh, that might bounce a little too much, maybe. Ooh, it's close. Now the issue, though, for Dereck is this 3 is going to be pretty big. I think I would actually try to draw out of that 15 a little and bump into the 8. If he goes forward, it's kind of a small window. Oh, he might have hit it, though. Yeah, and that's the issue with that shot. It's such a tiny window. Well, going a little ride there. There, you can see a lot better. He's hooked on the 7. So it's either a masse or jump shot. All right, looked like a good hit to me. Opportunity for Jason Harlan to tie it back up. Coming right at you in the side pocket. See, I would have actually floated forward there. I would have played that 7 in the side, float forward, and play the 2 next. Because it's much easier to get from or it would have been to get from the 3 to the 1 than it is the 2 to the 1. And this is the exact reason why. He is very straight on. So now he's going to have to pull this straight back. I think he's got enough angle to cheat a little bit where he can't pull it back to scratch. Well, that's a well-hit shot. That's a beautiful shot. Well done. Just avoid the scratch in the side. Good enough. 1 apiece. You know, Tom, I did consider bringing stroke zone into the equation, but it's just too much. Plus, I'd have to switch everything over. Turn the projector on. That always takes time to warm up. Find the appropriate shots. Suppose we could do a shootout shot. Like 3 shots. Interesting. I like the way you guys are thinking. Yeah, I'm in agreement, Trevor. I would have played that a little bit differently, but he got out. It's all that matters. All right, he may have road racked himself. That's one of the things too. That if you know anything about me, and you know anything about the way the knockout challenge has been going, I'm always open for suggestions. So, if anybody else has other ideas, I'm always willing to listen. Good shot by Dereck. Breaking out the only trouble balls that needed breaking out. So Steve Kilberg has a suggestion. Swap the 10 ball and 9 ball sets. All right, I'm going to need a reason. Just because of the slopness of 9-ball? I don't think I would. I don't think I'd be able to disagree with that. The reason why I didn't do that, though, Steve, I didn't want 9-ball to be the deciding set because of the potential luck factor. Even though it is in play, if it's a race to 5, I don't want, especially with a short or a medium race in 9-ball, having it the last set being a determining factor. Not a bad idea by Tom Manini either. Because then we could go 5-4-4. Race to 5-9 ball, race to 4-8 ball, race to 5. Or sorry, it'd be 5. Wait a second. 4-4-5. Wait. 4-5-4. Whatever. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, it'd be 5-4-4. Good shot by Jason, unless he left enough of that 10 ball where Dereck can pocket it. May have to jump. May have to play a jump combo here. So one of the other reasons that I was talking with Tim about it is the fact that being, of course, that we live in Wisconsin and the amount of players, almost every league in Wisconsin is 8-ball, right? Very few 9-ball or 10-ball leagues. So I don't want to make that the last set either. So that's one of the reasons why I made it the first set, because that's predominant game. So if I made it, well, kind of like the way I started, 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball. Of course, Trevor Simpson using his excellent vocabulary. More funner. Wait, kick shot? That wasn't. We have a replay? What? I didn't even have replay. Okay, maybe I forgot to start it. All right, Dereck Delancy with a shot on the 8-ball to take a 2-1 lead. Center pocket. So I know some of the other Harlan family are out there somewhere. because Jason talked about it in his player spotlight, that the missus is tuning in, and maybe mom, Chris, I believe, Chris Bevan, if I remember correctly. Obviously, Dad is here. Look at this rack. It's like you're looking at a two-dimensional table right now where it's off balance. Everything is leaning to the bottom. Chris Mulder, that's it. Hi, Jason's mom. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you get an opportunity, if you're not already a subscriber, please do that. Would be greatly appreciated. All right. Combo by Jason. I don't know if he had hoped on making both of those, but either way, that went in. I think I'd be playing safe right here if I was Jason. And here is how I would actually play the safe. I would hit the 6 ball and draw back just a smidge to try to get the cue ball right there. Because it does two things then by doing that. Yeah, see, you left him a shot there. Left him a shot on the 14. It could have cleared the 6 out and, made a pocket for the 1 and the 5 down in the Vincent Didio Memorial pocket. Easier said than done when you're in the booth and been playing for 45 years, somewhere around there. God, that's a long time. All right, that's exactly what Jason was hoping for. So he can either opt for the combo, 1-6 combo, which I would not recommend, or play the 5 ball in the upper left, which is what I would recommend. Chris Mulder, you are very welcome. If you've not been here before, I'm doing what I love and loving what I do. And from the feedback of the players, so are they. So that's all that matters. Anything to grow the sport and get rid of the negativity. Six to the 2 to the 8. I like it. He's got a perfect angle to get to, even if he got straight in, somewhere around there or even back here, either one. Because then he can just drift forward and play the 8 right there. Lori Van Cooey. How you doing, Lori? Long time no see or hear. Oh, that's perfect. That is ideal position. You literally, all you want to do is get the ball right there. Let's see how close he gets. I'd like to see him put it right in the middle of that circle. Get out of here. Oh, my gosh. Oh! Pretty close to perfect. That's exactly what he needed. Get on in there nice and tight. Missing half the cue ball, but that's all right. Down she goes. 2-2. Right now, Mom is clapping at home, and Dad, and the kids, and all the Jason Harlan fans. All right, let's go to our very first sponsor spotlight of the day. We're going to talk about my good friend, Mr. Vincent Didio of Gallery 83 Tattoo Company down in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. He is a multi-award winning artist with 20 years of experience in all styles of tattooing. From elaborate black and gray realism to simple small designs, he is equipped to bring all of your ideas to life. Gallery 83 is a relaxing, safe, and clean environment. So if you want some ink on your skin, I would highly recommend going to Vincent's. He is damn good at what he does. Check him out at VinceDtattoos.com or VinceDtattoos@gmail.com. I kill you. Jeff Dunham fans. Cassie Harlan. Cassie is watching along with the kids and in-laws. That's fabulous. That's one of the most rewarding things is about this Wisconsin-based pool stream is the fact that when we get down to, and it doesn't even have to be in the finals or semifinals, quarterfinals, whatever, you always got family tuning in and friends cheering them on, showcase their game. Good afternoon, Mr. Dolly. How are you this gorgeous Sunday? Okay, I believe that was an attempted safe by Dereck. A little bit aggressive. All right. Jason pocketing. Ooh. Right idea. Forgot to make it. All right, I'm going to put this up there a couple of times throughout the match and all the other matches. And we'll talk about it in more detail. But you see the name Dave Dolly in the chat right now. He is former tournament director at Romines High Pockets down in, it's Brookfield, right, David? Either way, it's actually Milwaukee, 27th Street. So Dave was telling me the story about this young little boy, 4 years old, or this was at 3 years old. He was diagnosed with leukemia, is now 4 and fighting hard to make it sure that the disease never comes back. If you look at his little bio underneath his picture there. So please take the opportunity if you can. And again, I'll put it up there. You can always rewind it. Go back to the QR code there. It says to donate for, his name is Zayden Fair. I'm going to have to go. It's a 600 Fargo and over and a 599 and under. So there's going to be 2 different tournaments at the same time. So check it out. Didn't miss much of anything. I couldn't agree more, Dave. You know, and I think that's honestly one of the things that has really fallen behind in the pool community. And again, my opinion, but you know, it used to be where, man, you were made to feel special when you won something. You know, you won a tournament. It was a good chunk of cash, an awesome trophy, all the accolades and everything else. Now and to be honest, I get it. The price of everything has gone up, so on. But, I see plaques that are, cost about $15. And of course, there's a lot of them, so on. But it's just when you play through a 64-player bracket like these, and you make it, and they all know that, you're not going to be on the stream until you earn your way to the stream. So that's the idea of making it special. This is a big deal for these guys. And I'll never knock another Fargo or, discredit, how they practice or how they play or whatever. They have the right to be on a stream just like everybody else. Doesn't matter whether you're Fargo 700 or 400. Greenfield, yes. All right, successful bank. A good leave on the 13 to bust into the 215.5. And if he gets fortunate enough to get a shot, he could end up getting out of this rack. The 8 is not the easiest to get on, but it's possible. Oy. Forgot to make the 13. That was the most important shot. And really didn't do much with the 2 or 15. So that puts Jason in a bit of a tough spot for the rest of this rack. Aha. Got it, Dave. I will remember that for the next time I put it up there. So it's Caden Jones. Or Zayden, sorry. Zayden Jones. All right, good shot by Dereck, and he does have kind of the ideal situation here where he can pocket the 2 and break out his 5 ball all in one shot. Ooh, forgot to make the 2. Ooh, boy, just made it more challenging for both players because now his 4 is in a bad spot, as well as now the 8 ball's in a horrible spot for both players. Rob Hovick in the chat. Rob, you may or may not have been mentioned a couple of times in the Dereck Delancy player spotlight. You'll get to hear that in a little while. Probably do that around when somebody gets to 6 or 7, somewhere around there. We'll see how the match goes. This is not an easy out. There is a possibility, though, if let's go to the overhead and the telestrator. If he can get to right about here with that cue ball. Oh, I did it again. Oh. So now this is ideal because now he can just draw into the 4 and kick it out of the way and have a shot at the 8 ball in the same pocket. And it looks like the perfect angle for it. You just don't want to touch the 8 going in or coming back out. You don't want to move it from its current position. But you want to hit that 4 nice and full. That's not it. Yeah, that was more straight draw. And I think he needed to cheat the pocket just a little bit. So a little bit of right-hand spin and draw would have been a lot better than looked like he just had straight draw on it, trusting that it was going to kick the 4 out of the way. It's not the worst thing if... See, I don't know if I would kick this hard. The reason being, the 3 and the 4, even if Dereck had ball in hand, the 3 and the 4 is not a gimme. He's going to have to kick the 8 out of the way at some point. If he had ball in hand on the 4, he still has to get that 3, which he could play all the way down in the Vincent pocket. Yeah, see, I don't think I would have done that. Although, it's not easy for Dereck to get on the 3 ball. I'm on it, Mad Matt. Thank you. Big trouble in Little Oshkosh. All right. Whoa. One hell of an attempt by Jason. Nicely done. Uh-oh. Good opportunity for Jason. Pull into the lead. And does. All right, 3-2. Still very much in the early going. Man, he has such a monster break. I may have to replace the balls after this. Yeah, Jason hits him so hard. So going back to Rob Havik, he played with Dereck. He did mention that too. He's been working with Dereck for the last 2 years, and they played as partners in the first Scotch doubles KO challenge, and ended up being defeated by the eventual winners of the tournament, Caden Hillman and Caden Hillman. Mad Matt, I went and checked Outer Points chats and got... I'm not sure what you're referring to. I went and checked it out, and I don't really see anything. So send me a private message so I know what the heck we're talking about here. Mad Matt, you won yesterday? Dang it all. So I had to do, it's called FFF. If anybody is aware of what that is, myself and Mrs. Cheddar, I had the FFF yesterday, and it stands for Forced Friendly Fun. I had to attend a baby shower yesterday, which actually ended up being a lot of fun. Got to see some people I haven't seen in quite a while. Catch up on some of the family doings. So it was a good time. And then we had game night at another friend's house. But anyway, Matt, I want to hear about... so that's why I wasn't here yesterday. So I'd like to hear about the tournament, Matt. What's going on, Andy Coons? The Bahama Bomber. I like it. We'll see if Dereck likes it. Andy, if you notice, Jason has his jersey on, as well as me. Love this jersey. tell you what, folks, if you want a really cool onboard sportswear jersey and you are a member, a supporting member of Wisconsin Pool Players Society, if you're in the chat all the time, get yourself one of these jerseys because they're pretty cool. $65 shipped. Amanda Harlan, who are you? Trevor, yes, indeed, that was definitely a knock on Taylor Collar. We're teammates on Thursday nights here at Varsity Club, so I can do that. And yes, Caden carried him pretty much the whole tournament. Broad shoulders for a young kid, I'll tell you. Not a huge fan of jacking up on this 10 ball. If he's just shooting the 10 with hopes to get shape on the 12, I would just slow roll this and just stay short of the 8 ball. Then you're guaranteed a shot. Well, obviously you're going to make it, but then you guarantee a shot on the 12 ball to get the 9 out of there if that's his concern. But he doesn't really need to. Oh, boy. I was going to put it in a worse spot. That's not good. Yuck. Now he's going to make something happen. Nice. Well done, Matt. That must have been a nice payday. Thanks, Dave Dolly, I think. Yeah, once he put that 9 in a bad spot, it just made the rest of this rack really ugly. So Mad Matt, first question or response. Something came in the chat. Was it like a really weird person's name? It was like 3 different names from a different country trying to spam Outer Points Productions. If that's the case, it was already deleted. But I think now I know what you're referring to. What's going on, Kirk Canast? I know, Rob. We just like giving Taylor a hard time. Why, you ask? Because we can. Yes. So, as a matter of fact, Matt, Trevor is the first one that reported it this morning, and then it was sent, as obviously the creator of the page, then it was sent to me for either acknowledgement or deletion. So, yeah, it was removed. It's annoying. I mean, people have better things to do with their freaking time than waste mine. Get a job. That would have been a good shot for stroke zone. Now Dereck has put himself in a nasty spot. Obviously, the 4 does not pass the 8. Because of where the 15 is, he can't cut it in the side. So now he's got to do something with the 5 ball. This is risky. Even if he pockets the 5, he could run into the 8 ball, could scratch, or end up with no shot at all. Oop. And that was a friendly little rub, actually, off the 5, because now Jason can play the 15 in the lower left-hand corner, and looks like he has the angle to get over to the 9 as well. Well, again, congratulations again, Matt. Trevor and I were having this conversation earlier. That's how... That's a big miss. Trevor played in a tournament yesterday and had said pretty much the same thing. It's a really long day. That is how the KO Challenge came to be. Man, that's another miss by Dereck, and relatively easy shot on the 5 ball. Agreed. Rob Hovick. Yeah, I think, it's just like carbon fiber shafts in golf. It has increased the distance off the tee boxes. You can, either stiff, extra stiff. You can get more length with your irons, more accuracy with your irons, and they're just more consistent, my opinion. Less deflection, blah, blah, blah. We all know that. But it's the same thing that has happened in pool. It is making more consistent players out of the average player. Low deflection means less missing. Or less, oh boy. This is a tough rack. Nobody wants to win it. I think it's helped in all different aspects of the game, Rob. I think it's increased the amount of English that you can apply to the cue ball. Little twisting going on there. I'm actually going to leave it right here where you can kind of see Jason's. Maybe I can get a better. Nope. Just doing a little guiding with that. Watch that right elbow. The right hand in the follow through. That was hit really. That was his best, one of the best strokes. Straight back, straight through. No manipulation. No steering. Typically, that's one of the biggest downfalls or basics of pool that oh boy, almost missed that one. That amateur players face is that trying to steer the cue ball after you've let it go. All right, 4-2. Matt, I've had this discussion with Jeepers probably 50 times with a lot of players. I swore I would never get a carbon fiber shaft just because I was really happy where my game was to a certain extent using the maple shaft. I always shot with the Jacoby, is that 3.14 or whatever it was, the Ultra. And then I tried, I think it was Robbie Schmidt's Jacoby or Wheat State. Yeah, it was Wheat State. So broke down, got a Wheat State. Swore I'd never get another carbon fiber shaft. Famous last words of a pool player. Tried the Jacoby V4 at Derby City, and knowing the Jacoby reps and gave me a little bit of a deal, and I'm just absolutely in love with the V4. It is such a good playing shaft, but it fit my Jacoby and my Nova. Did not fit my pea shower. So what does every pool player do? You buy another one, right? So I just got Steven Schwen's used first edition Rogue shaft. I think I'm done getting any more pool equipment for a long time. And I gotta give a shout out to Jacoby and P Shower, and they have been, as a streamer, as much as I try to do for the pool community, they've helped me a lot as well. So thanks to them. Justin Gray says the same thing. He loves his V4. How long have you had it, Justin? I'm just kind of curious because I've had mine now for 15 months, roughly, and I just love the way it hits. Rob Hovick, do you still play with the maple shaft, or have you gone to carbon fiber? Me and Rob are old school. Rob's a little bit older than I am, but I don't think by a lot. I'm pushing 59 this year, so. I think Derek's going to have to get rid of this combo sooner than later. Actually, I think he has to right now. Yeah, he doesn't have another shot. And if he doesn't end up with a shot after this combo, he is probably going to have to play safe next. So he's going to have to rely on something on the 13. All right, he does have a thin cut on the 13 or a thin cut on the 9. It's not super thin, but I think he could actually get away with it. And if he could catch maybe the backside of the 15, I think he's going to need a little bit of low left. to run into that 15. Kind of maybe take some of the momentum off, and did exactly that. And I think he is going to I think he's got a shot. Let me take a look here. Ooh, that's like 2/3 of a pocket by that 7 ball. But its natural shape for the 13 to get right between the 2 and the 8, I think he has to play it. I mean, if it goes, then that is the shot. That's a great shot. All right, just a little bit of a stun draw. Doesn't even have to do much with it at all. And given where that 7 ball is, that pocket is huge for the 8 ball. So just don't want to get careless and draw behind the 2 ball. Keep it simple. All right, down she goes, 4-3 in favor of Jason Harlan. All right, folks, sit back and relax for about 9 or 10 minutes because we are going to do the players actually requested a quick break, so we're going to give them about a 10-minute break, and we're going to do the player spotlight of Jason Harlan. Enjoy. I'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome to the middle of the match. I am in the booth for the player spotlight of Mr. Jason Harlan. Thanks for joining me. Actually, thank you very much for playing in KO 1.3. Yep. It's been a fun ride so far.
That it has.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you playing. There's been a lot of really good matches so far, so I'm sure today is probably not going to be a disappointment. So, if you would, tell us a little bit about yourself, Jason.
39 from El Dorado.
Where exactly is El Dorado?
I mean, it's on the map, but it's only about 15, 20 minutes southwest of Oshkosh here.
Right outside Fond du Lac? Not too far outside Fond du Lac?
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
So
it says you've been playing for 10 years. What made you take up pool? Just curious. You have a death wish or
yeah, I like to throw
lose a
money
bet?
away.
Sure.
Yeah. Back when I was growing up, deer hunting and stuff, and Dad never let me win. So I think that was the starting point.
So Dad grew up playing 8-ball, I'm assuming, and taught
Yeah.
you the game?
Yeah, a little bit. We played together one year. That was fun. I think that's where it all started.
So then you got hooked. Here you are.
Here we are.
Playing for $8,000.
Trying to. trying to get some money to Chip Olson, too.
Oh, that's your buyer?
Yeah.
Yeah, your pimp?
Yeah.
All right, so your favorite game is Scotch doubles. Scotch double, does it make a difference whether it's 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball, as long as it's Scotch doubles?
Yeah. 8-ball's good. We play a lot of it. 9-ball, 10-ball's definitely some fun. But yeah, Scotch doubles, when you get to play with somebody better or lower than you, the information that's shared, exchanged, different point of views, that sort of thing is pretty cool.
Yeah. Nice jersey, by the way.
Yeah.
Looks...
Shout out to my Scotch teammate here in a month, Andy Kuntz.
What's going on, Andy? You better be watching today. I mean, look at these jerseys. He should be paying us to advertise for him.
He might be.
Think so. Oh, wait, he's a sponsor. Yeah, he is. Never mind. So you play with a Jacoby. How long have you had that thing? Forever?
Specifically this one, I got that one from John Fields.
Wait, you own more than one Q? Wow, that's weird for a pool player.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, every year or two you got to get a new one. So.
I try to tell Mrs. Cheddar that, and it doesn't go over very
My
well.
wife just shakes her head and walks away.
Yeah. So your favorite restaurant is none other than, I mean, probably one of the most popular supper clubs in Wisconsin, Taco Bell.
Yeah, I mean, how can you go wrong with that after pool league? Yeah, that's good.
I don't even know how to respond to that. Definitely a different. Jason Harlan is the epitome of answers we've never heard before in the player spotlight. He plays Scotch doubles is his favorite game, and Taco Bell is his favorite restaurant.
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much information on the favorite game. I mean.
So, would you consider your dad then to be your biggest mentor in the game, or the person that you look up to the most, or is there like a favorite player?
Well, I mean, at the local level, yeah, he was probably the one that got me started, and a couple of my buddies. I think we accidentally signed up from a city league to a BCA league, and Brent Lucas called me one day. I'd signed up for summer league, but I signed up too late. He needed a sub. Next thing you know, the amount of information that I learned on that league, had a couple Scotch games, was really helpful. And then I went to guys like Al Schneider, Bob Baylor, Adam Mosier, even Bud Snyder shot with us at state last year.
Sure. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Is he going to be watching today? I'm assuming he probably is.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then, my teammates from years, we have Troy Mazer, Dennis Koenigs, Andy Kuntz, and recently we've added Craig Stadinsky to our team.
Oh, okay. I completely forgot what I was about to ask. Never mind.
But yeah, if I can give a shout out to
Nope. Sure.
to my 4 kids, and one of them's down in Punta Cana right at the moment.
Nice.
And one's in diapers crawling around.
Obviously not the one in Punta Cana.
Well, you never know.
That's okay.
Rough night there, But yeah.
What are their names?
Bailey's 19. She goes to school down at Carroll University. Be a pediatrician of some sort. Luke, my 5-year-old hockey player. Paige is almost 3, a couple weeks here. She's our dance ballerina girl.
Okay.
And then we have Cade. He's going to be the lineman of the family.
All right.
He's a brute. He's 9 months right now. So.
And the missus, I'm sure, is watching as well, because
yes.
she's been in the chat the last couple of matches that you've played. So
yes,
awesome. I remember what I was just about to ask. So you mentioned Brent Lucas, also a sponsor of OPP. Have you been out to Luke's Tap yet?
I have multiple times.
Very nice.
Yes,
yeah,
very
he's
nice.
really done a great job.
Perimeter lights, diamonds. Can't ask for much more in a smaller.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Pipe, right? Yeah,
Yep.
pipe. So, in preparation for a match like today, is there anything that you do, whether it's physically, do you do any drills or anything, or mental preparation?
Well, this week we've been watching a lot of the U.S. Open. Shane's on the tear.
Again?
Yeah, no surprise. But yeah, just working with some people at work, even Scott Rimkus. He's been
Wow.
every single thing we're doing.
I haven't heard that name, and Scott and I go way back.
Yeah, he's been every minute of the day. Well, you got to do this, you got to do that, and little pointers, and all that stuff. So
Cool.
it's been going good.
So, are you at the power plant or the
Aldridge? Well, Millipore Signal.
Okay, because you work directly with Scott.
Lately, yes.
Yeah. Well, sorry to hear that.
He's a fun dude.
He is. Yeah, no doubt. We played. I met Scott back in Sheboygan when I lived there, and we played a lot against each other. Yeah.
I think he's playing in the Kiel leagues now. So, last pocket, I believe.
So you've been married for how long?
You should have warned me on that one.
Oh, forgot.
A little over 5 years.
We don't have to. No anniversaries or birthdays. You don't have to remember any of that, so you're not going to be in too much trouble.
Right.
Let's skip over that.
Yeah, beautiful bride I got there. Shout out to her.
Excellent answer.
For taking care of the kids and letting me do this, and I appreciate you.
So, is there anything that what helps keep you focused when you're that? Let me rephrase that. Do you get nervous because of the amount of money that's being played for in a match like this? Because today you're already guaranteed $575. So potentially $1,500 on top of that with a victory, plus an opportunity for $8,000. So,
yeah, the money's cool, but I just want to win. There's no, you could put 20 grand out there. I just want to win. I want the trophy.
yeah, I like it. Do you want the belt or the pool table?
I really want the belt. I love the pool table, but nothing says leave the champ like, WWF Hall of
All right.
champ belt.
All right, fair enough. I am giving the players the option this time. So, well, best of luck to you, Jason, and I appreciate you spending the time doing a player spotlight, and I really hope you're playing well. And I know that you've had a lot of viewers that have been tuning in for your matches outside of family, a lot of friends that have been cheering you on. So, best of luck to you.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You betcha. All right, welcome back, everybody. That was the player spotlight of Jason Harlan. Hope everybody enjoyed. I've said it so many. It's one of my favorite things to do. Really get to know the player outside the pool table, outside the pool community, outside of the what they do for a living. Family. Obviously, Jason with 4 kids who are all watching. Some have no idea what's going on. It's all good. We'll be doing Dereck's in a little while. So if you're unfamiliar with the rules of BCA 8-ball, even though he pocketed solid on the break and there's still 7 stripes, he can shoot whatever he would like. It is open table as long as you make something on the break, and it's not all white or all black, because making the 8-ball in the break does not constitute a win and has to be either spotted or can re-rack, and the player can break again. One of the things that I do not, even if it's an ugly rack, because it's happened way too many times, if you re-rack, you don't make anything. And then the next break, You spread everything out, but nothing goes in, then your opponent runs out on you. That's irritating. So Rob traded in his Jacoby Carbon for a Jacoby Keelwood, and will never go back. I've heard that from a couple of players as well. Rob, you're 77? Are you serious? Wow. Don't look a day over 76, buddy. Not the worst time to miss for Dereck. A lot of ugliness going on there. Good shot. Would have liked to have left him behind the 1. But I don't believe he can pocket the 12 on the side. I don't think it goes past the 7. Well, if Dereck can hold for an angle on this 11 ball, it might be a little straight. He's going to have to force this into the left side of the side pocket and try to break out that 14. Maybe a little left-hand spin and force it to the left side of the pocket and throw it down. Yeah, he did it. Unfortunately, did not hit that so hard off the outer points. Jeez. Uh-oh. 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 Whee! That is pretty pretty fortunate that cue ball did not go in. But all of that is a direct result of the miss on the 11 ball in the side by Dereck. Otherwise, Jason wouldn't be at the table. I don't know if I would play this all the way down or not. Yeah, I would just play this in the side and finish the rack. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Banks it in. Nicely done. 5-3 in favor of Jason Harlan. Couple of new folks in the chat. Good afternoon, Dave Peters. Cheering on Jason as well. Sean Wilkes. Sorry, buddy, about the several attempts at winning the jump cue to no avail. All right, another powerful break, but a mess on the table again. There is a lot of ugliness going on right there. And that's not one of those where you can just pick off one by one. Actually, well, maybe, because the 15, I believe, does go between the 2 and the 6. I think I would actually take stripes here instead of solids. Even though he made 2 solids, I don't like how they lay. Because that 15 ball is a break on basically the rest of the rack. He's playing the 14-6 combo, and that is probably going to cost Jason this game. Sherry Shelvin, obviously cheering on Jason. Sean Johnson in the chat. What's going on? Sean says his kid claps along every time your stellar audience cheers good shots. Sean, how old is your little one? Man, I think he just got himself hooked on the backside of that 2 ball. I don't know if he can shoot that 12. Sure enough. I don't know if the 14 goes past the 11. That's a little ugly. That is another crucial miss by Dereck Delancy. And I believe Jason can see this 3 ball. If not, I'm actually looking straight down at it. And the 3-1 combo does go in the side. But that's not the 6 ball is the easiest starting shot. I think if he can see the 3, yeah, I think I'd play the 3. That kind of opens everything up. And does so successfully. Perfect shot for the 6. 6-4-1-2-8. And be doing. So Sean's little one is almost 19 months. We're probably the same height. Probably shop in the same clothing section as well. Here, this is for your little one, Sean. So I think I would probably play this 1-2-4-8. Because getting from, I like the way this lays out now, because it's basically roll forward a little bit, or even a stop shot. Stop shot on the 2, and 4 to the 8, there's a lot of possibilities. If he plays, yeah, I like this, because it takes away the possibility of getting hooked behind. If he plays the 4, you could play the 4 to the 1, but if you get a bad angle, then, yeah, I like this. This is a good shot. Awesome, Sean. All right, 8 ball in the upper right-hand corner for a 6-3 lead. Shut your pie hole, Mike Bonnell. Sean's, what's your little one's name? We'll give a shout out. Okay, 6-3. Jason taking the next 2 games after the player spotlight break. All right. Do I have the score wrong? There's a reason why I asked that. So if I look at the table, oh, yep, it is 6-3. All right, cool. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see the coin right there and right there. Bodai? All right. Oh, what a horrible kick. Bad kick on the cue ball, but He's the one that lost control of it right from the get-go there. All right, how about everybody in the chat? Let's give a round of applause to Mr. Bodie Johnson, 19 months old. How you doing, kid? Should take no time at all becoming a better pool player than your dad. I'm just kidding. Kidding. Make sure you get him a good milk carton or milk crate to stand on, like my mom did for me. Good bank shot by Dereck. Ooh, that's another unforced error by Dereck. It's kind of odd to see him do that too. He's been rather consistent. Bodie. That's not true, Trevor. Trevor Simpson. Trevor is French for big guy. Yes, indeed, Rob. You can see he's been. That's a good shot. I like that safe. Like you said, Rob, at every level, for having the ability to maintain a constant state of, or nice even attitude at the table. Never get too high, never get too low. You start to get the adrenaline rush, and you gotta slow yourself down. Step away, take a couple of deep breaths, refocus. That's a good shot. That's a great shot. I think I would try to get that 10 ball out of there right now. 10, maybe draw it back and play the 13 next. A little bit of an angle on the 10, but shouldn't be an issue. You could draw off the rail and draw right into the 4 ball. And does exactly that. Barely. Yeah, very true. Rob, you don't want Jason to jump out with a 4-game lead in a race to 11. It's not insurmountable, but you know, in 8-ball, that makes it really difficult for Dereck to come back. So 6-4 would definitely be much more manageable. And under hit that one. He did not have much of an angle on that 14 ball. Kind of surprised by that. How about you, Trevor? That would have been a really difficult safe getting behind that 8-ball. That's like a 3-inch window. That would have been tough. Now he's left. As long as Jason can get on the 2 ball or break up the 2-6, it might end up being a 7-3 lead. Uh-oh. Rubbing off a couple. All right. He's got the 7 ball. That would be my next shot. 7-6, 2-1-3 or 2-3-1. Oh, I don't like this. I don't understand this. Why would he shoot? I was going to say, holy cow, why would you shoot that shot? Yep, good choice by taking that 7 first. I think I would play the 6 ball and get to the short side of the 3. Right here would be ideal because then you can either play the 1 or the 3, the 3 being the obvious one. And if you do miss, it makes it a very challenging shot on the 9 ball for Dereck. No, little firm. Yep, he's put himself in a nasty position now. But this is actually a very simple safe. There's literally not much to it. Given the angle that he's got, he could literally just take the cue ball off the 3 and put the cue ball right there. 3's going to end up somewhere in this area, blocking the 9. Might leave a jump, but that wouldn't be the worst thing. Good shot. All right. We'll get the instant replay ready. Ooh. Went for the kick. Kind of surprised at that. That was the right play, definitely there. Stop shot on the 3, and this is for a 4-game lead. All right, rack number 11. Another, or I should say, a dry break. Jason's been pretty successful on the break, just not getting much to shoot at afterwards. What's going on, Fong? You can do Dereck if you want to, but I'm not. So let's keep that straight. Dereck has kind of put himself in a. I didn't like that shot because, I mean, the 15 is still accessible. The 12 is accessible. That may have been a shot he didn't want to take. That broke up the 8 ball for Jason. You know, obviously the miss on the 3 ball on the side, but may have ended up breaking up what Jason needed to get out. We know what you meant, Fong. Just giving you a hard time. Why? Because we can. I remember those days, Dave Dolly. No doubt. You'd walk around the pool table with a VCR, like camcorder, or yeah, I mean just still photos, and put the still photos in the display case. There was no internet. There was no social media. Nothing. My, how times have changed. And right now, I guarantee you, my daughter and son, if they're listening, are cringing. Probably my wife, too. Oh, here we go again. You're talking about back in your day when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. Dave, being that old, your social security number starts with like 7 or 8 zeros, right? 6 zeros, maybe? Just counting in my head. Kidding. All right, that's another untimely miss, if you will. Giving Dereck another opportunity to get a game back. And I think he has to shoot this 2 ball as much as he probably doesn't want to, or the 5. Because, yeah, the 2 does make it easy or more difficult for Jason to pocket his 9 ball. Good shot. But now what have you got? He's got maybe the 6 ball. Maybe. And that's questionable. Just way too hard. It really tried forcing that 4 ball into the side. Really didn't have much to shoot on after that anyway. I think he might have gotten a little bit fortunate too, because that. Let's take a different look here. I don't know if that 10 passes the 11 in the corner. Yikes. Looking at a carom here. Jesus. Let's all send Dave Dolly a hug. I didn't realize you were that old. Great shot. Well, apparently he didn't call the carom on the 14. Thought he did. So, Dave, have you got a class picture with Moses? It's a tough battle. This game has been a couple opportunities for both players, and neither one of them are capitalizing so far. And we're getting to that point of the match where everything starts to matter. Not that it doesn't in the beginning. That's, I think, where most of us fail. You think that it doesn't matter, and it does. Because I guarantee I'd much rather be ahead 7-3 than my opponent. Not to be Captain Obvious, but dude, yeah, that's pretty freaking old, Dave. Good safety by Dereck. Tried to go for the kick carom off the 2-ball unsuccessfully, but put the 3 in a more challenging position for Dereck. Opportunity, but nothing simple. Well, took care of that problem. Nice shot. Well, Rob said it before, and it's even more true now. And Dereck pretty much has to have this game. 7-4 looks much more manageable than 8-3. Good angle. Good angle to get from the 4 to the 3. Unless you hook yourself. Oy, 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 oy. All right. We're trying something new today here at Outer Points Productions, and we're going to see if it works. We're going to find out in just a couple of seconds. I'm excited to try this. May or may not work. You just never know. That is ball in hand for Jason Harlan yet again. So that's not good. Hooking himself on that 14 was a disaster. I'm sorry, 10 ball. It's a major swing. I would have liked to have played, and there's nothing wrong with that, the way it is. I think I would have liked to have float down and get that 9 out of there first. And again, it's personal preference, of course. Whatever is the most comfortable. He's just having to work a little too hard to get shape on these balls now. Where if he had just kind of drifted forward to play the 9, then it was a stop on the 11 in the side, 10, 8, but doesn't matter anymore. So now it's, I think I would pocket the 11 ball. Pocket the 11 ball here. Come this way and that way. Back out over here. So that way you're hitting it with a little bit of authority instead of trying to baby it in and hold it for the short side. Because if you try to hold it for the short side, it could end up in a really bad angle.
Yep. And I didn't realize it required that I have a webcam to log in. It wouldn't let me log in without plugging in a camera. So I don't know if that's a setting you can change if you want somebody to just join via audio.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have your audio on, but
Let me.
you can. I'm going to switch the table right now. Let me know if you can see it. I'm going to go to the long view right now.
Okay. Yep. Got it.
Side view.
Yep.
All right. No, the only thing is I don't hear you in my headset.
Okay. Let me.
Yeah, this is the problem that I was having with Don.
Okay. Let me see. Let me see if I can find my settings and figure out where it's getting audio from for this tab. What is I'm guessing I can't do anything. I can move my picture, but that doesn't change anything there. Okay, I can hear the clapping in my headset.
Hang on, Trevor.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, folks. Players have requested another player break, which is perfect timing. What we're going to do is play the second player spotlight of Dereck Delancy. So check it out. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are in the match, in the middle of the match, somewhere along the way. And I am
that's what I was
joined by Mr. Dereck Delancy.
Thinking.
Very much thank you for
Bingo.
First of all, thank you for playing in the KO Challenge. You've played in a couple of these already.
Yep, that's what I'm trying. I see at least a way to.
It's been fun. It's been
turn it on and
great
off.
watching you play and see where your game has progressed over the last
connection is secure.
I don't know 6 months since I first seen you play. But if you would tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and where you come from.
Yeah, my name is Dereck Delancy. Most players in the north side know me, like Marshfield area, Mosinane, Appleton. Originally, I'm from the Bahamas. I've been to America about 4 years now. When I moved to America, I was down I moved down to Marshfield. And then I linked up with Rob Hovick. I always give him a shout out. I always give Rob a shout out because, he picked me up and he picked my game where it was and took it to another level.
That worked. Okay.
So I always got a shout out Rob Hovick.
Hold on.
great
I'm gonna
mentor.
put the phone
Played here
on.
in the Scotch doubles, as a matter of
I'm
Yeah,
fact.
gonna
played
try in the
Scotch
headset,
doubles, you know,
but I'll
that
still be
was
able
a
to hear
good,
you. I'm just gonna
that was a
mute
good
my voice on the phone because I'm guessing you're getting double
tournament there
now,
too. That Scotch double. I think it was a
potentially.
4.0. I think it was.
Yep,
Yeah,
correct.
it was good. We lost by the winners. Tyler.
Okay, can you hear me at
Taylor
all, Dale?
Collar and
the young kid.
Caden Hillman.
Caden, they play good.
Anything?
So what? I'm kind of curious. So how
Okay.
did you end up here from the
Okay.
Bahamas?
I could hear
Well, I had
you on the
friends and
phone,
family up on this side.
but
Okay.
I don't.
Trying to make,
I don't know if
decision
you would be able to hear me in your
on
headset
deciding
since
to
you
like
have the
somewhere, you
player
know,
spotlight
do
playing.
something different. You know.
If my
Sure.
headset audio is
Of
working.
course, coming out here in the winter, you know, Wisconsin winter is crazy.
Not much anything like the Bahamas. Yeah,
Experiencing Wisconsin
Yep.
winter was
brutal.
yes, it was. But I didn't get the bill of snowman yet. Probably this April. Hopefully, the snow don't stop yet.
I don't know if you're going to
Okay,
get that
so
chance anymore this
I just
year,
needed
but
to change
you
the
never know.
microphone
You
that
never
it's
know,
using in
Wisconsin.
my
A
Google
couple of years
settings
ago, we got 26 inches
for
on
the
April 15th. So,
screen
you know,
to
there's
be
that
able to
possibility,
reference the headset that I'm looking
So,
at versus the
Um,
audio from my
what do you
camera.
do for a career then?
Well, I'm working right now. I'm operator. I'm a machine operator. So I do that right now.
Yep.
Up on Granton side, factory.
Okay.
Linbury. Yeah, that's about it. That's my career.
I'm assuming that's not what you wanted to do when you were growing
No.
up as a little kid. What was your dream? What did you want to be?
Growing up as a little kid, I wanted to be like my dad. He was a carpenter. He was a good carpenter. Then I started doing carpentry, and then I was like, nah, I can't deal with the sun. Sun too hot. You know, I was on the roof sweating. I was like,
Oh
nah.
boy, yeah.
So I done changed that career already. I couldn't deal with that.
There's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. But now I'm looking at the different revenues of, I'd say, still a machine operator, but something bigger, something different, you know.
So, when you moved to Marshfield, is that when you first became a pool player? Did you play when
No,
you were in the
no,
Bahamas at all?
I played in the Bahamas, and I got to shout out my friends in the Bahamas, Miko Evans.
What's going on, everybody? Are they watching today?
Yeah, they'll
Super.
probably be watching. They always watches me when I play.
Awesome.
Bola and the gang, you know what I mean? Miko taught me how to be a student of the game, where I start like studying a pro player. My favorite pro player is Philo. I start studying him and watching what he doing and mimicking him, and you know, he have a great compact stroke. So I always try to take that from his game. Yeah, I've been shooting like 4 years back home, and then I came over here and shot 4 years. And
Is there a certain level that you want to get to and you're going to be content with, or
I want to be the best from the Bahamas. I know that's a hard that's because we got some good players down there. You know, as small as we are, we got some great players down there.
Sure.
We got Dario Woodside, and we got the Kari Turncrest. They like almost 700s, you know. So I got to put in a lot of work. You know, I got to be rocking with Rob a lot now
sure?
to get to that level. But it's possible. You know what I mean? Anything is possible once you put your mind to it. It is very much possible.
So you've only been playing for 8 years. Favorite game is 14.1, which it doesn't happen very often. Here in Wisconsin on the player spotlight. Is that what you grew up playing in the Bahamas?
No, I grew up playing 8-ball in the Bahamas. The reason why straight pool is my favorite because growing up playing 8-ball, it makes 8-ball more easier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Rob taught me that game, and from he taught me that game, I just started playing and liking difficulties from it, with choices and the right pattern to the last ball, which you gotta leave in the rock, and I just like the difficulty in that game.
I like it. Tell us what Pepper Pot is.
Pepper Pot is a Jamaican restaurant down in Milwaukee. Most probably know about it because they be packed. As soon as you go there, taking almost like 30 minutes to get a plate of food. So, you know, they be packed down
Love
there.
it.
Yeah, and you guys
Jerk-
gotta go
jerk
down there and get some
chicken
jerk
and-
chicken or
Oh,
some
man.
pork.
I worked on the cruise ships for 5.5 years, and one of my favorite stops was the Bahamas, And there were several spots, too, where we went for jerk chicken all the time, you know, and some of the other stuff that grows out in the wild, the green stuff
Yeah,
that
the curry oxtail. Oh man.
Good stuff.
Yeah, the oxtail melt your mouth.
So, in preparation for a match like today, what do you do mentally or physically?
I spar with Rob. I've been sparring with Rob for a while, and I wasn't beating him a few years back. But now I could say I could contest with him, and I could give him a run, or I could beat him, actually. I've been beating him now, and the matches has been closer. And a lot of players know in Wisconsin, Rob Hovick, he is, to me, a monster. You know what I mean? I sat down and watched him run a 4-pack, or, you know, when I'm coming to the table. So playing somebody like that will definitely sharpen my game and, you know, make me more confident, because I'd be like, all right, I might get another chance at the table. You know, and if I get another chance at the table, then
you better take advantage of
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Otherwise, Rob will eat your lunch.
yeah, so
No doubt.
like I said, I always got to give a shout out to Rob Hovick, for sure.
So are there plans for, I guess this is more on the personal side, plans for you dating a girl, or plans for a family in the future?
I got my lady. She probably watching too, her dad.
Shout out
her
to your
daughter.
lady.
Yeah, her daughter, Nilea, her dad, Pops. Yeah, shout out to them. They probably going to be watching too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So do you get nervous when you play in a match like this?
Yeah, I do, actually. I get nervous playing any match, but that's just how it is. But then after a while, I just loosen up. Once I make a big shot, especially if I make a big shot, and I just start hyping up myself, you know, and then I just calm right in, and sometimes I don't even know I'm playing, because I get in a certain zone, and I just want to get in a certain zone.
It's the best place to be.
Yeah, I just
no
want
doubt.
to get my rhythm and my zone, so I stay out of my head, and I just play pool, you know. Give the viewers something to watch, you know. Many don't know me, and many do know me.
So Jason and I were talking about it. Does the $8,000 first prize, is that what you're after, or are you after the title, the trophy?
I'm after the trophy. You know what I mean? The money is replaceable. I know it's a bonus, but that trophy is different. I can always look at that trophy after that $8,000 done spent. I could always look at that trophy.
Money comes and goes.
I remember when I won that in Wisconsin, you know, like telling my kids that, you know, that trophy probably going to be in the Bahamas if I win.
Do you want the little pool table trophy, or the belt?
The little pool table.
I love it.
Big.
Cool. Awesome.
Go big or go home.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, and again, thank you for playing in the Knockout Challenge, and we might be seeing you in the finals. So
yeah, you know, if I play my game, you can see me all the way.
Yeah, there's quite a few people that have picked you as the favorite, so no pressure.
Appreciate it. No pressure at all. I just got to do what I got to do.
All right, let's get back to the match. Cool. All right, welcome back, everybody. Apologize for the the very beginning of the audio. We're trying to get something working that we've never attempted before here on Outer Points Productions, but as you may have noticed, the gentleman talking in the background, somebody already got it right. Dave Peters says we can hear Trevor over the player spotlight. So let's see if we can get Trevor into our commentary. Trevor, you there?
I am here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
All right.
I'm talking. Can you hear me, Dale?
See if Trevor can hear me. Trevor, give me a thumbs up. I can see you. Oh, I got a thumbs up. So, can anybody else in the chat hear Trevor? If so, give me a thumbs up. We're testing out something new. I'd show
Yep.
you a picture, an image of Trevor, but he doesn't want me to do that. He's got dirty underwear
Yeah,
against
no,
the wall over there, so we're just going to leave
no,
that part alone. And he is
nobody
laughing right
wants
now.
to see it. Yeah, nobody wants to see
So
that.
Dave Peters says he can hear me. So
Okay. Well,
we can't hear. All right, Chris Bender says.
yeah. Okay.
Rob Havik says you can hear Trevor way better than Dale. Well, that's a blessing already.
Right. That's absolutely a blessing, and they all know it. They all know it. So
well,
that's going to
somehow
be
I'm
tough.
gonna have to
though,
figure out how I can get Trevor in my ear.
Yeah, that's going to be tough if he can't hear me, because
I'll tell you what, Trevor.
The banter.
You go ahead and commentate on the match for a little bit, and I'm going to see if I can figure out how to get the sound in my ear. Have at it. You're pretty good at this stuff.
Well, gee, flattery will get you everywhere, Dale. Thanks, I appreciate it. Hey guys, we're trying some new technology things, so apologies for the interruption, but I am commentating from my home in Fort Atkinson, using the PC, watching the match, just the same as all of you were in the chat. Appreciate y'all showing up. So Dale's gonna mess around with the audio mixing on his part and see if he can get to hear me. But adding new things to the Outer Points streaming production value on a daily basis, or at least as often as Dale can figure out the technology. So you get to talk to me for a little bit. Welcome all. Been an interesting match so far. Dereck is started out strong, and looks like some of the table and the nerves got to him there in the middle, and as Rob was pointing out, but he seems to be settling in a little bit better now. Has found the speed of the table better. That's a really nice breakout. Good position to get around and break those open, and looks like he's got 4 balls on the rail there. Is going to make the position play have to be pretty precise, but he can certainly get it done. Another question here is my audio too? If the volume is too much, say something in the chat. If it's livable, we'll go with it. Meanwhile, Dereck just continues to work his way around on that position every single time, getting back to where he needs to be. That is well done. Good little kill shot there to give him the ball up the rail into the VDM.
What we should probably do is so Trevor can hear me. He's going to give me the thumbs up right now again if he can hear me. But I can't hear Trevor, which we're going to have to work on. I think we should just let Trevor commentate for the rest of this match. Does everybody agree with that? I got a feeling, Trevor, that everybody in the chat is probably going to agree with that.
Yeah, Dale just wants the rest of the day off. That's all it is, and y'all know that too. And
so Rick Chamberlain says that your audio is a little bit louder than mine, Trevor.
Okay.
But he says you can hear both of us. That's all right. We're making progress. I like it.
Let me see. Let me see if I can maybe find a way to on a little bit. He's got himself tree-topped over the 2 ball here a little bit, but makes the shot tough. But if he can get it, it affords a natural position onto the 8 ball. There's a little bit of a commentator curse there, perhaps. That's my bad. So that'll bring Jason back to the table. It really doesn't have any problems. The 7 and the 3 are in the open. This is just a case of, connecting the dots, tic-tac-toe, pick your way around the table, find a pattern, make sure you stay tight with your cue ball, just because you have a wide open table here, you don't want to let yourself get a little loosey-goosey and then end up out of position and have to try and come up with a safe. With Dereck having that ball on the top rail like that, it makes playing a safe easier if you do get yourself out of place, but I would expect that Jason can maneuver his way around here.
Well, I know Trevor can still hear me, but I still can't hear him in my headset, so weird.
And that's weird because he could hear me
We'll
before.
have to figure that out.
I'll tell him that. And also, somebody let me know while I'm typing here. Is the typing reasonable in the background, or is that too loud as well? Is it coming through the microphone? Hopefully, the microphone I have is good enough noise canceling that the typing isn't bad. If it is, I'll stop.
Well, this is a really good opportunity yet again for Jason Harlan to take a 4-game lead and get himself 3 away from the semifinals. So, pretty substantial. A couple of misses by Dereck that have been very costly in this match so far.
Yeah, I would call this pretty prime position here. Just stop is good enough. No need to try and get fancy and come up on rail and get the 8-ball in the side. And that's why you don't necessarily want to do it. He got far enough, but you're just making the shot a little harder than it needs to be because you're going to have to make sure you strike this well and keep it out of that corner pocket. And he does so. Not that you couldn't, but just makes it harder than it needs to be sometimes. End up getting in trouble. All right. Saw the chat. Thank you guys for mentioning you can't hear the typing. That's good. So Jason picks up another. Let's see if I can get myself turned down here just a tiny bit.
I think we're going to have Trevor, we'll see if even though I'm listening to it on a delay, and we're getting too late now. Going to have Trevor do the. There we go. Let it happen now. We'll
Sponsor spotlight.
Sponsor spotlight.
Home Sweet Home Real Estate. Bobby Joe Coons is the broker and owner of Home Sweet Home Real Estate in Waupun, Wisconsin. Many years of experience in residential, land, farm, and commercial real estate. For exceptional service, give her a call, 920-345-1055. Again, Home Sweet Home Real Estate, Bobby Joe Coons. And Cheddar, we can hear the echo in the background of the delayed audio. It'll take him a while to hear that. It'll be funny.
crap. It'll take me 12 seconds to hear that, but I got it now. And nobody else can see Trevor, but you know what? I have a way of. I think I can fix that. Let's have some fun with this.
Okay.
This might get crazy.
Trying not to turn this match into a technical extravaganza, but Cheddar he's like a kid in a candy store. You give him a new toy to play with, and he just has to take after it. So apologies to Jason and Dereck if you feel that we're messing up your stream. You both have earned your time and your position here, and we want to be respectful of that as well. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. I've been there, been out on the stream table. I know it. I understand the pressure it is, and what it does take out of you. A really good shot there, and a pretty fortunate bump to get the 4-ball off of that rail where it was in a really bad spot there, and now he puts himself. He's going to end up probably having. Unless he fancies himself getting dead flat on the other rail for the 2-ball, he might have to shoot the combo 7-2 and try and get the 5 out in the open somehow. And with Dereck having all the stripes on the table, I don't know if I would try and play it safe here, because you leave him a lot of chances to break that open, and a lot of things can go right for Dereck, and he could end up getting out. And kind of a tough spot here if you're Jason. If you go and you don't make it, you have a wide open table for Dereck. And if you don't go, you also give him an opportunity. That was pretty neat. If he isn't so tight on that 13 that he can cut the 7-ball in, that was some pretty handy shape. He thinks he can do it. He's lining it up. Let's see if he can pull it off. Al Holden. Oh boy. Do we even want him? Isn't he on permanent timeout, Cheddar? Cheapers. That guy. Showing up unannounced.
I hope everybody is enjoying Trevor's voice much better than mine right now. I'm desperately trying to where I can actually hear him commentating, so we don't know to talk over each other, or know not to talk over each other. But I'm having some issues, more than just what everybody else is aware of.
kind of where the cue ball is now, honestly. Since the 2 doesn't go into that top right corner, but it's awful tough to get back there if he's super thin on that 13. See what he comes up with here. Use some creativity. Okay. Takes the intentional foul in an attempt to tie up the 2 ball, and he doesn't quite get it to sit behind the 13 like he was hoping. That's not the outcome he was hoping for. Or as Collins knew he was saying yesterday or throughout the whole entire U.S. Open 8 ball, if anybody was listening to he and Molina Mike, that was an entertaining stream. That's not where he intended to be every time one of the players would miss position.
I'm going to see if I can get Trevor to spit out his water because I'm watching. Okay, he's smiling. So now I know he can hear me, but I still can't hear him.
Yep. Still
right.
Got you, Cheddar. Loud and
I
clear.
give up. All right. That is a 5-game lead for Jason Harlan. 2 away from advancing to the semifinals. That's huge. Dereck Delancy with quite a few opportunities that he has not capitalized on in this match. Just not shooting the way he kind of mentioned this to me at the end of last week's match, that it's not that he's uncomfortable on the stream because he's got his own stream, but the table itself, it doesn't play like any table he's played on, and we talked about it in the player spotlight. He does get nervous. I don't know if that's playing into it or not, but I've seen Dereck play some pretty exceptional pool. Yeah, actually, somebody, if just give a thumbs up in the chat if you can still hear.
Okay, Dave. Thanks.
Lost you for
Appreciate
2 minutes,
it.
which means I was talking. Wait a minute. Maybe they can't hear me, Trevor.
Oh, they can hear you, I bet. That unfortunately, they can hear you. For them.
I don't know what he's saying, but I'm watching. I'm lip reading on the video, so I can about imagine because he's chuckling at himself. Yeah, great. I should put that image on the stream.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the closet in the background, I would put it on there.
Let's get the channel
I might
canceled.
Anyway. So if you can hear Trevor in the background, give us a thumbs up in the chat.
Yeah, everybody wants to
we'll figure out the rest.
See the opening of my closet. I'm sure. Yeah, my motorcycle gear hanging there. Beyond that, it's a safe background because it's what I use for work. Since I work from home, doing IT things, I have a web camera for that. Thanks, Dave, for replying in the chat that you can hear both of us. Appreciate it. I'll give you the thumbs up in Cheddar's camera so he can see that I understood as well.
Thanks, Dave. Yep, we got Dave Peters says they can hear both of us. We'd like to apologize to all of our viewers then.
Right. Yes. Yes. All right. Well, Jason looking to get himself to the hill here. He had a problem to solve, and he just did. I can't tell if the 5 goes past the 4 into that corner right now. If it does, I would sure be shooting it. Man, this is I'm gonna do it. I know Cheddar's gonna curse me. I'm gonna do it here. This is an out you would expect to make. You would expect Jason to make this out as well with the solids. Yeah, it looks like from that angle, the 5 does not pass the 4, but still balls it all down at this end of the table and laid out the way they are. You would expect him to get out here. And I cursed it. There's still a chance. There's still a chance. But he may end up playing that 5-4 combo. I think he really wants to, but the bottom rail's pretty open, so the 5 should get in some position where it's still accessible from there. But he's
Trevor,
relying.
what are your thoughts on potentially playing that 5-4 combo?
I was just talking about that, Cheddar. You couldn't hear me talking about it, but I was just talking about it.
Whoops. Oh, that was an accident. Sorry.
Yes. Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Oh, he went for the bank.
And here's the problem with that. My camera here, my web camera, is better than the web cameras that Cheddar has in the booth, so you can see me better. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That's unfortunate. You don't need to see me that well. Nobody does. My mother probably doesn't even like that view. I wish Cheddar could hear me so he could laugh with me about that, but I'm sure he's laughing after the fact when he goes back and listens to this. There.
Well, I'm glad nobody got to see that. So I just got the one finger wave from Trevor at his house.
Yes. Much
Man,
appreciated.
I wish I would have accidentally put it on that time.
So, Dereck opting to play safe there, and similar to how I played safe a couple times yesterday, it's not quite so safe, but it's a containing shot. He still leaves Jason the long 7 ball, or the combo on the 5-4 if he wants it, I think. Jason's eyeing up that 7 ball. If he's got it, I think you have to shoot that. And you just play it to go back and forth across the table. You end up anywhere within a quarter of a diamond of that long rail after this shot, and you're in pretty good shape. Up at the head rail, he's got a little more room there. I don't know if he's got the angle or not, but it's going to be close. And if it isn't, he's got the rail first, certainly. That was a good shot. Leaves you a little longer, but on a 7-footer, still a shot that you fancy. Gives you an opportunity at least. And that's all you can ask for a lot of the time.
What's going on, Mike Bonnell?
Oh, he had all of it. Perfect. Nothing wrong with that at all. He actually had a different problem in that he was straight in and couldn't get some angle to get around to the 5. So he chose to slow roll it, and he's going to take the much more difficult shot on the 5 ball. and it must not pass into the top right corner, so he's got to back cut this into the Vincent Didio. Oof. Well, at this point, yeah, it's worth the flyer because there's really not a safety you can play here. So you take this shot. Take the shot because it potentially puts you on the hill.
Well, this is a really good opportunity if Jason can pocket this 5 and oop, never mind. Never mind.
No, you got a little fortunate
if I
there.
was Dereck right now, this is a very simple safe. Just kind
Yep.
of pocket that, or he doesn't even have to pocket. Just nudge that 14 out of there. Make sure you break everything up. And again, this really isn't all that bad because the odds of Dereck getting ball in hand after this are really like 95%. This is a very difficult hit for Jason.
Yeah, I think he has to two-rail this out of here because he got so snuggled up against the 13 ball, which actually made it way harder than if it was one rail. You could get by the 11 and throw some English on it. But now the fact that he's got a two-rail it to go into the long rail just to get to the head rail, that makes it really rough. Oh boy, that was so close. Excellent effort. But sadly, it does give Dereck ball in hand. He's going to have to pick this apart now. Let's see how he's thinking about it. I like this. That gets one ball out of the cluster and opens him up to the 14, which then opens the rest of it up. So you just got to manage getting some kind of a shot after this, whether he tries to come one rail out at the 11 or just comes one rail back and shoots the 15. That's probably the more likely shot. Or power draws it and bounces off the 8 ball. That works too. There's just that's the fun of 8 ball. There's always options. What's that? Oh, that one guy has a saying, every ball is a rail. I've heard it before. It's, yeah, I'm sure you've all heard it if you've listened to any amount of streaming from Wisconsin Pool. And there's a good example of using every ball as a rail. Worked out well for Dereck. So he's got these 2 balls here to get a game back. He's not going to like this. Oh, yikes.
Wow. You see that, Trevor? That I mean, was that you? Was
That's
that a commentator's curse by you? Because that is brutal.
That
and that's
kind of
like
was
the 3rd or 4th time he's done that to himself this match.
Yeah. I've said it a couple times. Sometimes you're the bug and sometimes you're the windshield. And sadly, it looks like Dereck was the bug there in that instance. He just got the one of 2 places, either side of the 5 ball, where on this table you would have no chance at making that ball. Very unfortunate. Yeah, and that's all you can do. You just shake your head. You got to make a hit here. You don't want to give him ball in hand, and you got to try and stay below the 5 ball if you can, which really brings brings the scratch into play off the 15 into the corner. But I think you got to try it. Because the risk reward factor there. Well, he went for it all. He made the 15, but that's definitely, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's going to put Jason on the hill. I feel bad for Dereck. We all know, anybody who's seen him play, and we know he can play far above that. But we all have those days as well, because we're amateurs. Even the professionals do. So it happens. And that 8-ball puts Jason on the hill.
Well, that hooking himself on on that ball led Dereck Delancy to make a beeline for the little players' room just now. Obviously, very frustrated with the way the results are going, the way he's playing, and that puts Jason Harlan on the hill with a 6-game lead. I concur. Trevor, I know you can hear me, but I can't hear you. I concur. All right, 10-4. Right now, Jason needs 1, and Dereck Delancy needs 1 at a time for the next 7.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a good way to put it, and something good to keep in mind for your mental game as you're playing through.
That got kicked off of like 3 balls and into the side pocket. Brutal.
And he almost pocketed the 8-ball in the other side pocket, and it came back out and made kind of a mess. Boy,
Trevor, what are you going to take here?
I think you got to take the stripes. I think you got to take the stripes, and you take the 13. Yep, I like what he's doing. I like what he's doing here. You might have to cheat the pocket a little bit to get this to go, but I think it's the right starter, because you do this, and then that opens up your position window for the 9 and the 14 there. I like what he's doing. This table, those corner pockets are just not nice. That shot wasn't hit poorly, and it still full railed its way, rattled in there. Yep, I like this too, because I think the 10 ball still goes to the other corner, other bottom corner.
I think he's potentially painting himself into a corner here because of the fact that 10 ball is in a really bad spot, and I don't think. Let me get to a different angle here. Boy, that's really difficult to get on that. With that 6 ball right there, he's going to have to find a way to get that out of there. Plus, the 8 ball itself is in a nasty spot with that 2 ball there. He'd have to get on the short side. So he might be painting himself into a really bad. Oh, never mind. Commentator's curse again. Way to go, Trevor.
Yep, not a bad place to miss, though, honestly. If he was going to miss, I think that's probably the spot because of the way the 6 and the 4 are tied up there now. I don't mind him missing there. Jason is not just flat out here. He's got some work to do. So That was
it scares the hell out of me because I can see Trevor's lips moving right now, but I can't hear a damn word that he's saying. So it's kind of he's probably ripping me to shreds right now. So that's
shredded cheddar. That's what we're having. Shredded cheddar.
oh boy, yeah.
Just dicing
Drum
him
roll,
up.
giggling away.
Yes.
Yeah, another fine for Outer Points Productions coming up.
This is honestly kind of fun that he can't hear me. We can make it worse, or if nothing else, the anticipation has got to hurt him.
Well, now Jason Harlan has faced the exact same issue that Dereck was facing. Is now the 6 ball and the 4 ball are in an ugly position for him. The 8 being a little bit better.
Yeah, and for Jason here, the trick is not to make the rack worse. Don't give it away, but you got to find some way to open up some of your balls and not give Dereck basically the 10 ball. You don't want to give Dereck the 10 ball or much of a way to get to it. But you got to move either the 6 or the 7. You got to move them into a more favorable, more open spot on the table, so you can give yourself some way to pick your way around this if you get another chance, with the hopes of getting another chance. Given that he can't see the 6 ball, I'm trying to move the 7, and I'm trying to go up table with the cue ball, because from up table Dereck doesn't have much to work with. From down table it gives him some options here.
What do you think he was trying to accomplish there, Trevor? Was he just trying to break one of his balls out? Maybe. I'm not sure what that could have led to.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. I like that. He's gonna have to scramble here and either take the 14 in the lower right, or 12. I'm sorry, that's the 12 ball in the lower right, or cut the 14 in the side. So he's going to be forced to scramble here, but he's in a position to scramble. And that's all you can hope for sometimes. That had a lot of inside English to kill it coming out of the corner like that. Good Lord, he loaded that up. Nice. Wow. Oh, that's so bad. So unfortunate.
Oh, my goodness. I can't. I'd probably hear my background noise, so I can hear what Trevor's saying there. But what a crucial mistake on overstroking that 10 ball all the way down. And that may end up completely costing Dereck the match. There's a real good chance this is going to be over with. But you got to remember, this is a $2,000 rack, basically. If Jason, and I doubt that it's in the back of his mind because Jason said it in his player spotlight, the money doesn't matter. It's not that he doesn't care about the $8,000, but he really wants that first place trophy and the title. So,
yep,
a lot of pressure.
Yep. So again, this is just another connect the dots, and I like the idea of as minimal cue ball movement as possible. And
I don't know if Trevor just said that, but I personally would have played that ball off the 8 because it was almost unmissable off the 8 ball. And then it puts that 8 in a much better position because right now getting it past the 15, I think, is not going to happen.
Yep.
So now he has to get the perfect angle on that 8-ball or try to play it in the side, which is nasty. And now he's thinking about it now, isn't he? He wasn't before.
Yep, I like that cheddar. I didn't see playing that off the 8-ball, but I think that would have been a better move. And the way he has it now, basically not requires, but you really now want to save that 1 ball for your key ball to be able to use it to shoot into that side pocket and to roll forward and be able to shoot the 8-ball into the lower right corner. This pattern and the way the balls are laid now almost require it. But getting from the 7 back up table to the 1 is not a picnic. So
we got Dereck Delancy in the chat, and I'm actually looking at him from. Well, he's not anymore, but he had his phone. I'll tell you what, that's one of the things I would never do is look at the chat or the YouTube. I wouldn't even pick up my phone if I was in a match. I never do. That's not a good sign for Dereck.
I don't. Is he thinking that he can shoot that 8-ball up past the 15? Because the way he's setting up this pattern, he's looking 6-1-7. Well, you got to make the 6-ball first.
Another opportunity for Dereck. He's not done yet.
That's what he was looking at. Boy.
Trevor, do you go for the bank here? I think you almost have to.
Yep. Yeah, you have to go for the bank here. I was just going to say that. Yep.
Uh-oh.
No, that's going to stay out. Good. Okay. Well, that gives it back to Jason, but he's going to have to make a shot to put himself in a pretty good position that now opens the 8-ball up to go to either corner pocket, up or down the rail. I like 1-7-6-8 here. 1 ball, you kind of stun through this a little bit off the rail and get back out for the 7, stop shot 6, and then roll to the other side of the table for the 8-ball. Apparently I have the curse working from home even better than when I'm in the studio. Jeepers. All right, Dereck. Regroup. 1 game at a time. Get this one. This is probably as good an opportunity as you're going to get. A little favor. There is exactly 1 angle on the table where you come so straight into that 15 that you don't get one side of it or the other. Fate is a cruel mistress sometimes. And again, this is almost there's no safe to play. You try and kick at it. Well, no, it wouldn't be bad to put him on the long rail and make him shoot the 1 all the way down the table. And this is definitely where you didn't want to leave the cue ball because he's in the middle of the table. He's got all the balls to shoot at, so it's his choice here.
Chris Mulder, I'm assuming you must be talking to Trevor right now because I'm not doing any cursing here because I'm not talking. And most things get blamed on Trevor anyway. So
yeah.
And Trevor, by the way, that's Jason's mom. So you're in deep trouble if you curse him one more time.
All right.
Well, Trevor, we're 3 balls away from wrapping up this match, and I don't think it's the easiest because now he's got to get perfect on. I would actually consider playing the 7 ball first
I was
because he has to get perfect on the 7 to get to the 8.
Mm-hmm.
Not an easy task.
Or if he's not perfect, he's going to have to roll the dice and go back and forth across the table. I would rather go back and forth across the table and have the 1 ball to get to the 8 than try and go back and forth off the 7 to get on the 8.
Ooh, he hit it good.
That's about as good as he could have hoped for. That's about as good as you can hope for. This is workable. This is definitely workable. Another little drag shot, honestly, would not be bad here, is what you're looking for. So you don't just totally slow roll the 7, but you play a little drag shot and let the cue ball drag and then roll over, so you get a better, more true roll into the 7, and that should leave you with a shot up the rail for the 8. And that's the other choice. You can slow roll it like that if you trust the table.
Well, folks,
Trust
Jason has this 8 ball to wrap up this match. And I apologize to Trevor. First of all, Trevor, thank you very much for tuning in. I'm going to cut you off for just a little bit. That is a wrap. It's hard saying goodbye to any of these guys just for the simple fact that, over the course of this entire tournament series, I've gotten to know Dereck very well. So it's a bit of a challenge to watch one of the players go. But hats off to Jason Harlan for really sticking with it today and doesn't look like he got flustered in any way, shape, or form. We've got a very happy mom in the chat right now. She's pretty excited. Andy Coons is very excited. Scuba Steve cheering on Jason as well. Good match. Thanks again, Trevor Simpson. I'll be calling you in a little bit, so if we can figure this out. I'm going to end the stream, and then we'll see if we can work out the bugs. But thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I apologize we didn't get to do a lot of the sponsor spotlights tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, because I really want to get this remote commentary working. And the biggest reason is because on limited budget with the stream itself, I think it would be awesome if Trevor could commentate from home. Not being able or not having to drive all the way up here and sit in this smelly, hot booth with me. Makes it a little bit easier for him. And then I don't have to pay him. So.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do, save money. No, it's.
Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Next match is tomorrow night, as a matter of fact. Let me show you what's coming up. I believe it is. Yes, tomorrow at 6 o'clock, it is Chris Green versus Brad Royce. And that is going to be, obviously, let me move that over first. There it is. Yes, 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And that is going to be the third of 4 quarterfinal matches. And until then, on behalf of Trevor, unless he's still talking in there in the background, I can't tell. Have a pleasant rest of your Sunday, folks, and enjoy your Monday. See you tomorrow night.